offer an important window into how musicking functioned in Taiwanese society during the late Qing dynasty and the Japanese colonial period. At that time, merchants were not only responsible for trade and economic growth, but also played a key role in shaping social and cultural life. Their houses were more than private residences. They often served as semi-public spaces where guests, business partners, and community members gathered. Music was central to these gatherings. Through musicking, which is the active participation in music making and listening, social relationships were reinforced and displayed. Traditional musical forms such as nangguan, beiguan, opera, and temple music were commonly performed during banquets, religious rituals, seasonal festivals, and important family events like weddings or ancestral ceremonies. These performances helped express values such as respect for tradition, social harmony, and communal identity. Merchant houses also reflected social hierarchy, hosting musicians demonstrated wealth, education, and cultural refinement, allowing merchants to assert their status within society. At the same time, music created shared experiences that connected different social groups, including performers, guests, and the surrounding community. Architecturally, these buildings blend Chinese traditions with newer influences, mirroring how Taiwanese music are absorbed local, regional, and foreign elements. In this way, merchant houses function as cultural hubs where music helps shape identity, strengthen community ties, and reflect the changing society of Taiwan at that time.
This is Lingan Society, the historical, religious, and cultural association in Taiwan. Learning about this establishment in Dadacheng was very interesting, as we got to learn more about the city gods and how they became to be, and learning about how the god statues that were more than 100 years old. A fun fact the presenter had for us was that there is an eyebrow that fell off on one of the statues, and he refused to have his eyebrow be put back on his head. It was very intriguing to learn about the details these people go to respect and worship their gods. As the music was created as a form to worship the gods, it blends into today's society. Using our field trip as an example of how there are still people today learning the music and beats. Especially in Dadacheng, these sounds are still filling the street with music and religious observance to ensure the community's well-being.
There were a few instruments that we were introduced to that are important to many of the performances for the city god temple. Starting off with the drums, there are multiple different kinds of drums that have a different pitch and depth to them to add variety to the song. There is also a gong that is commonly used in many of the songs as well. And an instrument that is probably the most distinct is the trumpet, called the suana. This instrument has a very loud and distinct sound, and we can listen to a clip of it here.
In many ways, the city god's temple is the beating heart of Dadacheng. It's a center of religious and cultural significance, and most importantly, community. Every year, the temple hosts the city god's birthday parade, cramming the streets with drums, chanting, and dancing. Performances like this do more than just honor the deity. They bring the community together and strengthen invaluable connections. Families and neighbors join in volunteering, celebrating, and preserving one of the city's most sacred traditions. People who may not interact in daily life unite through shared responsibility and sound. Quieter rituals like daily incense offerings reflect the sacred nature of the temple. The soft hum of prayers and bells express a shared harmony within the community. The traditions and performances of the city god's temple attest to Dadacheng's values. This community's desires and dreams are woven in their musicking and strengthen the bond that holds such a historic neighborhood together.
In Ilincho's residence, you can find books that invite you to immerse in the past music community. In the book Introduction to Taiwanese Popular Music in Japanese Colonial Period, you learn the person who inspired Li Lincho in lyrics writing. His name is Lin Qingyue, a doctor and a lyric writer. Although he was a doctor, he was very dedicated to collecting songs and published the collections. In fact, He was so passionate that he even started posting announcements of the news publications of song collection instead of medical news in front of his clinic. He was a generation ahead of Li Lingqiu. Being a Taiwanese who was raised under the influence of both Japanese and Taiwanese culture, Li Lingqiu learned from Lin Jingyue's lyric writing of Taiyu. This relationship shows how the lyrics writers at that time were highly connected and how music was passed down even if it was not a dominant genre.
Li Lingqiu's former residence was originally a tea factory owned by the Chen Tianlai family. This tea-related space became the starting point of his life and musical journey. After his family has come down in the world, Li Lingqiu did not continue his studies after graduating in 1923. Instead, he worked at Yongle Tea House, run by his mother's second uncle Chen Tianlai. Yongle Tea House was more than a business. It was an important place for cultural exchange in Dadaocheng and had close ties with theaters and the film industry. There, Li Lingqiu met Benshi, the narrators of silent films, and became fascinated by their storytelling. One Benshi encouraged him to try writing lyrics and scripts, which helped him realize his talent for writing. He later wrote lyrics for films and, in 1933, created Wang Chunfeng, which made his name widely known. This shows that Li Lingqiu's music grew from everyday spaces, family connections, and film culture, rather than from solitary creation.